Is an electronic collar cruel? Now this is a tough one, because I know our videos are seen all over the world, and I know some countries have actually outlawed electronic collars. So here we go. As a matter of fact, the e-collar can be one of the most humane tools when used properly. If you use it right, low levels of stimulation to signal the dog to do something wrong, it can actually be very, very humane, very useful tool. It can be better than a pinch collar or a choke chain. It can be better than a flat collar. It can almost be better than simply just rewarding a dog. Because when used at a low level, it is just a signal to the dog they're doing something wrong. When you start getting up to those levels to where your dog's head starts to tweak or the dog begins to whine or cry, you're out of line. The collar should be possibly discontinued in its use with that particular dog. The e-collar can be a very useful tool for a lot of people. You know, there was a time when I was a police canine handler that the police department I worked for ordered all of us canine handlers to use the electronic collar. At that time, you couldn't change the intensity on the remote, and you couldn't necessarily change it on the collar without taking the collar off and changing the colored pins. So you'd have red pins, blue pins, green pins, and you change those things up. And so at that time, if we had the red pins in because we were doing bite work or something that was high intensity, we might go into obedience and now we still had the red pins in, too high of a level. The dog would get hit with the stimulation. It was too high for what it is that the dog was doing, which was simply sitting too slow, and a purely inhumane way of training. We weren't taking the time to change the pins according to what we were doing. But now the collars have a way of changing the stimulation on the remote, and it is very simple to use, and when used properly is very, very effective. The problem with the electronic collar, it's very much different than how you would use any other kind of training collar, and you need specific training. So don't just simply go out and buy an electronic collar and then put it on your dog and start using it, because you're probably going to make a mistake. It's probably going to be inhumane, and it's probably not going to work for what it is you want to do. Many people get an electronic collar to try to fix dogs' aggression. The problem with this solution is that we end up, or the guys that are using it without the knowledge, begin to shock the dog when they are around another dog. And now what you're doing is you're creating a bigger problem, because now the dog believes, not only was I afraid of this dog before, but now that I'm around these dogs, my neck really starts to hurt because I start getting this shock thing that I know nothing about, and I get confused, and now I really hate being around other dogs. So in the end, you end up making your problems worse if you don't get good training with the e-collar and your dog. Every dog is different. Every level is going to be slightly different, and how you use the collar it's very important that you do it properly and through steps. It is a different animal altogether, the collar, not the dog. All right, so the collar, you need some specific training. So visit our website. We will have some videos on our website that has to do with the training of electronic collar, so that when you do use it, you're going to use it correctly. But don't use it unless you get good training, because if you use it improperly, yep, it can be inhumane. But to answer the question, no, it is not an inhumane tool as long as you get the training to use it properly. All right, so go to our website, look for some of our videos that we have on training that may help you out in other issues you might be having, or give us a call, or purchase one of our books that we have that should help you out. All right, take care. Talk to you later.